Hello, coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Bernardo Silva of Manchester City, as it has been reported that Barca are still so determined to sign the 100 million euro rated midfielder next summer. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about Frankie de Jong, as it has been reported that Barca believe that de Jong will likely not accept a pay cut this year. We are going to also be looking at that. So guys, as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Even though it has been less than a month since the summer transfer window closed, plans are underway at Barcelona for the next year already, and the Catalans have identified their chief objective for the summer of 2023, reports Mundo Deportivo. As per the Spanish publication, Manchester City superstar Bernardo Silva will be Barca's main aim for the transfer window next summer, after they missed out on the 28-year-old earlier this year. The Portuguese international has been on the Catalan club's agenda for quite some time now. Barcelona had looked into the possibility of signing the versatile midfielder last year and explored the avenue again this past summer. However, multiple factors, one of which was his 100 million euro price tag, prohibited the move from materializing. But despite not being successful in their pursuit of Silva, the Blaugrana are not prepared to give in. Manager Xavi Hernandez believes that the midfield department still needs a superstar addition despite the availability of top stars like Pedri, Frankie de Jong, Frank Kessié, and Gavi, and he wants the club to make attempts to sign Silva again from City next year. The Barcelona manager wants a player of his technical quality and understands the professional or the positional play which Silva does, as the team went flat during Pedri injury and false absence towards the back end of last season. Given his proven pedigree, experience, and maturity, Silva is seen as the ideal target by Xavi, and he has asked Barcelona to try signing him again next year, with the club also very much in agreement with the manager's vision. However, like the summer, Barcelona will again need to cut their wages to accommodate someone like Silva on their payroll without breaching La Liga's salary limit. Sergio Busquets' potential departure in the club in the summer, with his contract expiring, would help in that cause. Manchester City would want a total of 100 million euro package for Bernardo Silva, with at least 80 million euros of that amount being fixed payments. The report adds, whether Barcelona have that financial metal to pull off the deal next summer will be interesting to see. Quite interesting seeing that Barcelona have not given up on Bernardo, and it doesn't even come as a shock because we all know how Xavi likes Bernardo a lot. From last summer we were talking countlessly how Barca boss Xavi have been having private calls with Bernardo Silva trying to convince him to come. But for the fact that the time factor, it became so late for Barca to bring him to the Camp Nou. Also has seen how Frankie de Jong had resisted multiple times that he's not going anywhere, he will stay at the club. So that really prevented Barca from going all out for Bernardo Silva. So it has been reported that Barcelona have not given up and they are still so determined to go after Bernardo Silva again next year. But now that Bernardo Silva is rated 100 million euros by Man City, how on earth is Barca going to cope with that? How on earth are Barca going to shell out that amount of money to bring him? But we all know negotiations are still possible. They are normally going to negotiate. I don't see Barca paying all that amount. And also for the fact that Frankie de Jong is still part of the Barca team. From the way it even shows, he'll be here next year again. So I don't know how Barca want to cope with those two players on the pitch, or Xavi is just trying to, maybe frustrate one of those midfielders next year if Bernardo Silva comes, because it seems as though Frankie de Jong will just be a bench product if Barca can succeed to bring Bernardo Silva without the wage bill being affected, because we know players like Sergio Busquets will be leaving. There are some players who will definitely leave next season, and of course give some room on that wage bill for Barca to bring in new faces, So let's see. Bernardo Silva, there's no secret that Bernardo Silva himself cherished to play for Barca. He have always said it is a dream for him to play. He's open to a move to Barca, but it was not to be this season, as you know, Man City held back that they will not sell him, and Barca themselves never had that financial muscle to materialize the deal. So let's see how it goes. But that deal is not going to be an easy one at all, because Man City values the player a lot. They're one of their best players there alongside Kevin De Bruyne, so it's going to be very, very, very tough. It's never going to be an easy, an easy thing, an easy negotiation with Man City for Bernardo Silva. But let's see. But the way Xavi has been determined to bring him, it still looks so possible. It still looks possible because Laporta himself and his board are open to the idea of bringing Bernardo Silva to Barcelona next summer. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, contrasting reports continue to emerge on the situation regarding Frenkie de Jong and a potential salary cut at Barcelona in the ongoing campaign. Earlier this month, it was claimed that the Blaugrana president, Joan Laporta, had a pact with the Netherlands star that he would negotiate a salary reduction this year if he would not leave the club in the summer. And recently, it was reported that an agreement on a wage cut was close to being finalized between the two parties. However, now, CK Rodriguez is claiming that De Jong is unlikely to accept a pay cut this year. The journalist reports that Barcelona president Laporta still remains keen on negotiating a pay cut, considering that the Dutch ace has one of the biggest contracts at the club. Indeed, as per reports, De Jong stands to pocket a gross salary of 37.5 million euros this season, which makes him the second highest paid player in La Liga. He was handed a new contract until the summer of 2026 by former president Josep Maria Bartomeu. Naturally, Barca would be keen on reducing that salary of his so that they can trim their wage bill and get a handle on it. To that end, Laporta is said to be planning talks on a pay cut with the former Ajax star, at the end of the year. There have been talks about taking legal action to declare De Jong's new contract null and void during the summer. However, Barca are no longer considering that course of action anymore and instead wish to hold discussions with the player. But the club are aware that it could be difficult, as De Jong is unlikely to want to accept such a proposal at the moment. It remains to be seen if there are any discussions held in the coming weeks over a salary reduction and whether the Dutchman would consider that proposal. This issue of Frenkie de Jong and salary cut have made a lot of headlines recently, and Laporta is determined that he'll trim the wage bill, and of course, by doing so, one of the highest earners in Frenkie de Jong, his wages must be reduced. But it has never been an easy decision, right? Frenkie de Jong have always been steadfast that he wants to stay at the club. We all know that, and he's not even happy for the fact that Barca are still trying to cut his wage after still owing him about 18 million euros in deferred payments. So that's where the confusion comes, right? Frenkie de Jong and his representative are not happy about the way Barca are handling his situation, and they don't think that a further salary cut by the player is the ideal solution. So let's see how it's going to look like in the next few weeks. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.